Okay, so it was an error. So we go down in this section, put the catcher to 22. Says first on air, runner to second, catcher bobbles chopper in front of the plate. All right. So that's going to be E on the catcher. It says it's wrong. Let's see. That'll be E2. All right, so that'll be an error on Laudner. So that means he goes to first and the runner moves up to second on that play. All right, so KC has runner on first and second with Motley on second. That brings up the top of the order again for them. So we gotta go here, duplicate it, come back. Duplicate it, put that there. I have to ungroup them. All right, back to the top of the order. Men on. And there is one out in the bottom of the third here. Willie Wilson's back up to bat. He batted .278 on the year. Here's the row. He rolls a 53. 53 is going to get him a 17 with man on first and second. So we go to this. And we are going to bring up the man on first and second. So we got to get to that part of the chart here. Runner on that. Oh, it's not going to let me do it, I guess. Yeah, it's not. Runner on first. Runner on first and second. Okay. So he rolled a 53. That was a 17. So a 17. And it's going to be a possible error section here. What was it again? 53. 17. That's going to be on the right fielder. And the right fielder is going to be Bernansky. So we're going to have to go to Bernansky. Come over here to the screen. Find Bernansky. His error rating out in right field is a 22. Let's go back. Let's see what that says. Right field. He has a 22. Well, he has a range. We gotta look at his range. Also, Bernansky's range is a 2 and an error of 22. So R2 and 22. R2 and 22. Okay, so let's go there. Not that. R2. So it's gonna be over here. Alright, so we gotta find out if it's an error. So we rolled the other two die, and that was a 15. He had a 22, and if it's lower, that's gonna equal an error. So another error, and on the error, if we read here, first on error, one runner scores, other to third on the right fielder, who drops the ball. Who makes a bad play on the ball and drops it. Okay, so would it be an error? Go over here. We're going to have to hit E9. And then base runners 2. No, the E9. Why would you move up twice? E9. They scored a run. We gotta go back and figure this out. E9. Let's see. E. We gotta go back. Fix that. Undo. We're just gonna, let's try to figure out E9. E9, and then 1. Let's try that. Motley should be the only one who scores. Let's bring up that. It's hot. So we got us an E9 with the score. Ground ball, single, error, double, error when still in second. No. Error, fill. Back pitch, filled in error. R3-1. R2-1. 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 Let's see. Let's go try it. R2-1. 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 ECR21. It's not right. Third scores.
Starts dragging Wesley's body on a bed sheet out into the garage, and he sees
Number of bases. So he scored. Okay, we got it. All right. That was Willie Wilson, right? Yep. Well, Willie Wilson hits it out. Willie Wilson hits it out to right field. He bobbles the ball. So Motley's going to score at home. And the runner moves up to second. So we got runner on first and second now. And KC ties the game up here. 1-1 with 1 out. That brings up Lonnie Smith. 64 will be a 13. 13 with a man on first and second. Runner on first and second. 13. It's going to be a strikeout unless he's a K1. No, he's not. So it'll be a strikeout. Big out for Viola. So Smith goes down looking. We got 2 outs now. And that brings up Laudner. Hold on. Is that what happened? Am I messing up here? Why is this showing Laud? Oh, George Brett. That brings up George Brett. 2 down. Man on first and second. Viola pitches. 56. That'll be a 30. Well, man on first and second. Let's go look at that. And a 30 is a fly out. Okay, 6 through 9 he doesn't have, so it's just going to be a fly out anyways. And that'll be to the left fielder. And that will be the 3rd out. George Brett flies out over to Gladden. For the 3rd out. And after 3, it is now 1-1. Let's see, he's pitched to how many people already? 10 batters face. So he's good. All right, that brings up Gagne. So we head over here. Greg Gagne up to bat now for Minnesota. He batted .255 on the year. Saberhagen Dills, 16. They'll get a 28. 28 with. Write that up. With nobody on. And a 28 is out at first on a 6-3 put out, unless he has a case 6 through 9, and he does not. So it'll be 6-3 put out. That's going to be a ground ball to Concepcion. Fires over to Belboni for the out. Okay. Right. Kirby Puckett up now. He batted .332 on the year. 62. That'll be a 44. And a 44 with nobody on. That's going to be a fly out to center field. Puckett flies out to Wilson for the 2nd out. All right, Ken Herbeck up now. He batted .285 on the year. 55. That's an 8. Nobody on an 8. And that's going to be either a hit or an out. So we look at the pitcher. So he had a 46 for his other row. 46, and he's facing Herbeck. So we go look, Herbeck's batting left. So look at the left here, he's a 32, that's a 46, it's over. So higher equals a hit against the pitcher. So Herbeck will have a hit. Let's go see what that is on that. And he got an 8, that's a single to left center. Herbeck hits a ground ball through the middle, over to left center. He's going to be on first base. Gary Gaetti up now. He batted .257 on the year. 61. That was a 39. That's a man on first. I believe that was a 39, I said, right? 61, 39. Okay, so 39. And 39 is going to... 39 will be here. That over some. 39's out at first, runner to second on a 5-3 putout, unless he has a PB3. Pass ball, runner to second. PB3, I don't see that. Let's look at the catcher for them. That's Sundberg. Sundberg have a PB3. No, he doesn't. He has a PB2. Sundberg. No.
What did you say the weather's gonna be like tomorrow?
70.
70.
Yep.
Get out.
Oh, 61. What a 39. The man on first. 39. So that's going to be out at first. Runner to second. First, runner to second with 2 outs. G5. And that would be for the 3rd out. Gaetti hits over to George Brett. Picks it up. Fires it over to Bell Boney for the 3rd out. Alright, that brings up Hal McRae now. He batted .259 on the year for KC. Throws a 31. That'll be a 14 with nobody on base. 14. All 14's a base on balls. Unless he's a Z1, 2. And he is a Z2 if you see on his card there. So that's going to be 2 balls. Right there's a Z2. Alright, here's a re-roll. Get a 52. That'd be 27. Let's go look at the 27. Hold on. We gotta delete some stuff here. Delete. Delete. It rolls a 52. That'd be a 27. Nobody on. They're showing a runner on first. Let's make sure on that. There's no runner on first. 52 is a 27. Okay, runner on first. Nope. We're on the wrong thing. 27. Base is empty. 27's out at first. 5-3 put out unless he's a K4, 5-6. Unless he's a 4, K4, 5, 8, or 9. And he is a forward to both sides. So that will be a strikeout for Viola. Viola's got 5 Ks now today. Ray goes down looking. That brings up Frank White, batted .249. He's got 31. That'll be a 9. Nobody on. Base is empty. 9. It's going to either be a hit or a single on the pitcher. And he's facing a righty on righty. So it's going to be that 34 right here. And here's your verse righty. Here's your verse lefty. That's the number you're looking for. So he's got a 34, righty on righty. And if it's higher, it's a hit. And he rolled a 15, so it's lower than that. So it's going to be an out. Go back to the... And I believe that was an 80 rolled, right? Rolled a 31, which is a 9. So he rolled a 9. The 9's going to be an out. That's going to be a pop out over to second base. So White's going to pop out over to Lamberdozzi for the out. That's 2 down. Balboni's up now. Batted .243 on the year. He's got a 24. That'd be a 13. Nobody's on. And that should be a strikeout. 13. Right there it is. A strikeout unless he's a K1. He's neither one of those. So it'll be a strikeout. So Balboni goes down looking, and Viola's got 6 Ks now. It's still 1-1 going into the bottom of the 5th. Okay, so he's got 14 batters. We'll go look at that. 87, that'd be 85. Hagen can pitch to 30 batters. Okay, so we go right over here now. That's who's up. Saberhagen's on the mound. All right, Roy Smalley's up. 275 on the year. He had 8 home runs. Rolls up 35. That's a 23. Nobody on. 23. It's going to be a possible error section. Either an out or an error on the pitcher. Let's look at his card. Saberhagen has a, how do you determine the error on the pitcher? Let's go look at that. That's a good question, an error. That's going to be right there, a 16. And he rolled a 21. Higher is a hit. He rolled a 35, a 23. So that will be an error on the pitcher. And he's going to be on first base. So Saberhagen's going to bobble the ball and can't get the ball over there in time to get Smalley. He's on first. Tom Bernasky up 259. He had 32 home runs. Rose a 63. That'll be a 13 with a man on first. Let's go to that. Man on first. A 13, huh? Let's see. And that would be a strikeout. Unless he's a K1. That's a no. So a strikeout for Brett Saberhagen. That's going to be Saberhagen's 4th K for the day in 4 innings so far. Steve Lombardozzi up now. Batted 238, and he had 8 home runs. Rose 11. That's going to be a hit. We'll go to the 21 now. And we're going to go to the second section of the rows. So it's going to be a 6. Some are automatic hits. So 6. With a man on first. Let's see, make sure we're on that. Yep, a 6. And that's going to be a double over first. Runner to third. A G runner scores. 2 outs, a runner scores. We only got 1. We got to make sure he's a G runner. Let's go make sure. It's going to be a double, though. And a G runner. And we got Smalley over there. Let's make sure. Let's go check out Smalley real quick. See if he's a G runner. And he is not. He is a P, so he's not gonna advance on the P. Smalley up. Okay, so we'll go back over here. So it was a double. Runner to third. G runner scores, so he's going to get the third base. Smalley. And they said it was a double? Yeah, double over first. So it's going to be down the line. So Lombardozzi hits a double down the line. And Smalley's going to head on over to third on that play. And Lombardozzi's going to end up at second. And Minnesota is in business now to score a run with 1 down. So we got a man on third. Move him over to second. And that was a double. All right, now here we go. Sure. Everything's good. Laudner's up. Yep. Here we go. So Tim Laudner up now. Batted 191 on the year with 16 homers. See what he does. Saberhagen pitches. That's a 15. That's going to be a 9. With a man on second and third. Second and third, huh? First and third. Runner on first and third. Runners on second and third. He rolled what again? A 15. That was a 9. Runner on second, third, and 9 is going to be either a hit or an out on the pitcher. The second row's a 65. He's facing a right-hand batter. 65. He had a 33. And that's over. Higher is a hit. So that will be a hit. Let's see. What do you roll again? 15. That'll be a 9. So a 9. So it'll be a hit. Single over short. One runner scores. Other to third. So one runner to other to third. It'll be a single. So Laudner comes through with a hit over the shortstop. That brings in Smalley. Another runner advances over to third. Laudner's going to stay on first there. So men on the corners now. We're coming back to the top of the lineup. All right, here we go. It's now 2-1 favor of the Twins, and the top of the lineup's back up, and we got Dan Gladden up. And there's only one out with men on first and third. Here's the pitch, a 14. That'll be a 30 with runners on first and third. 40, first and third. There we go. Let's make sure of that again. Rolls a 14. That's a 30. So it'll be a 30. So go to the 30 here. And that's going to be, looks like a range check on the left fielder. Let's find out who that is. The left fielder. And our left fielder is Smith. Lonnie Smith. So we got to go get Lonnie Smith's range. Where are you, Lonnie? Lonnie Smith's right there. His range is a 1 and a 45. So he's got a 1. 1. 1 and a 45. So he's got a 1, range of 1. And right here shows a fly out. One runner scores, other runner holds to left field unless he's got a K4, 5, 8, or 9. He does not. He has K3s. So that will be a fly out. So it will be a fly out. And how do we score that? A fly out to who? Fly out to left field. That'll be a fly out to left field, F7. How do we score a fly out? Fly out. Fly out, runner scores. R3. F7, R3. F7, R3. Let's see. R3. Okay, so we did that. F7, R3. Okay, so Gladden's going to fly over to Lonnie Smith. Kind of deep. Lamberdozzi tags up and scores. And now it is 3-1 Minnesota. On the sac fly by Dan Gladden. All right. Greg Gagne up now. Man out first. That's a 22. That'll be a hit. So the 25. Go to 25. That's going to be a 1. With a man on first. 1 with a man on first. We gotta head all the way back. A 1 with a man on first, people. Runner on first. Here we go. Runner on first. That's a home run to left field. It's not a first column 1. So that's a big shot by Greg Gagne. And Greg Gagne just hits a 2-run shot over to the left field bleachers. And that's going to put Minnesota up 5-1 now. It's falling apart for KC. And Saberhagen has pitched to 20 batters. And I think he's got like 10 more to go. They're down 5-1. They're going to leave him in. Well, let's see. Is this do or die for them? I don't remember. I think KC won. Why did I say KC? And Minnesota is up 5-1. Let's see. I think KC. All right, so they're going to stick with Saberhagen here. So that brings up Kirby Puckett now. 45. That'd be a 14 with nobody on. 14. Base is empty. That's going to be a base on balls unless he's a Z3 or 4. He is a Z3 or 4. So that's 2 balls. So Saberhagen pitches again, a 25. That would be a 10C. 10C right here will be a single to center for Kirby Puckett. And Kirby hits one out to center field. He's going to be on first base. All right, that brings up Kent Herbeck now. Man on first. Yeah, 34 home runs. That's 11. And he's just got another home run today. Another 2-run shot by Kent Herbeck, who's blasted it out of here with a man on first. Let's find out where that went to. Man on first. Base is empty. They're showing man on first. One home run to left field. Hold on. It's the first column 1, and the pitcher has a PR4. That's the lefty. He does not. Score this as a PNR3. This is still going to be a home run shot to left field. So that'll be a homer for Herbeck. Why is it not letting me do it? So Herbeck, it's a shot. Herbeck with a shot out to left field. And that's going to be 2 runs scored. That's going to take it up to a 7-1 now. And Minnesota is pulling away. That brings up Gary Gaetti now. Here we go. Let's go make sure what he can pitch. He's with 85. Saberhagen can pitch to 30 batters. He's pitched to 22 of them. Okay, Gary Gaetti up. The rolls a 12. That's going to be a 25. With bases empty, 25. Bases empty. There's our 25. Let's see. How does it keep getting like that? I don't know. 25. Out at first. Unless he's got a K 4, 5, 8, or 9. He doesn't. That's going to be a 4-3 put out. And Saberhagen. Hold on, we gotta delete that. White. That's going to be a ground ball over to second base. Fires it over to first for the 3rd out. And KC finally gets out of that terrible inning. They're saying he's tired. Okay, who's up the bat here? It's Motley. So Motley's up the bat. Yeah, 17 homers. He rolls a 65. That'll be a 35. Nobody on base. 35, bases empty. That'll be a foul out. If he's a right-hander, which he is, it's going to be pop out to first base. W3 or W4. Viola doesn't have that. So that's going to be a pop out. Else, if right-handed. Foul out if right-handed. Oh, it's third base. Yep. So he's going to pop out to first base. P3. So Motley's going to pop out over to first base for Herbeck, who makes the grab for the first out. All right, Sundberg's up. He had 10 homers on the year. 66. That'll be a 6. And a 6 is going to be a double to right center if this is the first column 6 and the pitcher has a PHR of 0, which he doesn't have. Score this as a PRN above, so he does it. So it's going to be a double to right center for Sundberg. Sundberg, big hustle. He's in there safe. And that brings up Concepcion, who had 2 home runs. Man on second. Rolls 11. That's going to be a hit. 31. That'll be a 6. With a man on second. 31 and a 6. And there's only 1 out. With a man on second. And it was a 6. That's going to be a double to left center. Runner scores at first column. PRN 6. At first column, PRN 6. No, he wrote 2 different numbers. So it's none of that stuff. PRN 6. And the batter hit at least 1 home run and score as a. So this is just going to be a double to left center. Runner scores. All right. Double to left center for Concepcion. Double. And then we score 2 bases from what I remember. And they do score. That was a double to left center. Oh, Concepcion's going to hit double to left center. That's going to bring the runner home. And he's going to get on over to second base. It is now 7-2. All right, back to the top of the lineup for KC. Willie Wilson had 4 homers, 23. That'll be a 12 with a man on second. And a 12 will be a strikeout. Viola has 7 Ks now. All right, 2 down, and Lonnie Smith's up. He has 6 homers. 24, that'd be a 13 with a man on second. And a 13 is going to be a strikeout. Unless he's a K1, he's none of that. 2 outs, which we do have. That's a strikeout anyways. And it says not K1. Third strike gets past the catcher. Check the catcher for an error. Okay, so it's a strikeout. But it says if he's not a K1, but it says 2 outs, so you're just supposed to go by that. If it was less than 2 outs, so it would be this, and then it would be not if a KO. So it's going to be a strikeout. So Viola with 8 Ks now on the day. Slicing them up. And after 5.5 innings, Minnesota is up 7-2. No, after 5 innings, Minnesota's up 7-2. Alrighty. Alright, up to bat. Who's up to bat now? Smalley. Roy Smalley up. He had 8 homers last year. Rolls a 16. That'd be a 28. With nobody on base. 28. Base is empty at 28. Is out at first. So let's see. Saberhagen 6-9. No. So it'd be 6-3 put out. That'd be over to Concepcion. He fires over to Belboni for the first out. And Bernaski up. Had 32 homers on the year. 53. That'd be a 16. With nobody on, bases empty. 16 is going to be an error check on the center fielder. And that's going to be Wilson. So we got to go check him for an error. Wilson. We don't have Wilson around here. That's odd. No Wilson, huh? Interesting. So we don't have Wilson there, so we're going to have to go over here and find him. So we're going to have to ungroup this, duplicate Wilson. So we got his card. Mm. Okay, so Wilson has a 16. Okay, let's see, where are you at, buddy? Wilson has a 16 out there. A center fielder. 16. He rolled a 35. Higher equals an out, which he rolls a 35, so it's over the 16, so that'd be an out. Fly out to center field. So Bernaski flies out to Wilson. All right, make that who's out there. That's going to be 2 down, so Lamberdozi's up now. Rolls a 55. That'd be an 8. With nobody on. An 8. That's going to be either a hit or a single. Let's see. So he is a righty versus righty. He needs a 33. He rolled a 35, so it's higher on the pitcher. Higher equals a hit. So that's going to be a single to left center. Well, Lamberdozi with a single over to left center. He heads over on to first. So that brings up Tim Laudner now. 61. That'd be a 38 with a man on first. And that's going to be 38. Short pop fly into right center field. The second, they all cover. Right field takes it. Unless he's got a W1, 2, 3, or 4. Be a base on balls. He doesn't have that. So it'll be a fly out to right field. Shallow right field. So Laudner hits a shallow fly ball, and the right fielder, Bernaski, makes the play for the out. That brings up George Brett now. Nana second. Let me see. Nobody on. Hold on, the inning's over, huh? Alright, that brings up George Brett. He rolls a 51. That'd be an 8 with nobody on. Hold on. That'd be an 8, I said, right? 51 be an 8. Nate's either going to be a hit or a single. Viola's taking on a lefty. So it's a 32. He's got a 12, so it's lower. That will be an out. And that'll be a line drive play made by the right fielder. Drive on. And Bernaski makes the catch on a line drive right out to him. And George Brett's down. Hal McRae up to bat. Rolls a 22. That'll be a hit. 63. That's going to be a 7, second column. So we go 7 with 1 out. Nobody on base. A 7 is going to be a single to right. Ray hits a single out to right field, and he's going to be on first base. That brings up right now. That'll be a 31. It's going to be a 9 with a man on first. Empty. 9. It's either be a hit or a single, and he's a righty. And a righty. That's a 34. He wrote a 33. Lower equals an out. What did he roll? A 31. That was a 9. So the 9 will be an out. Out to first. The out is at first. Runner to second on a 5-3 put out. Guy Eddie's play is only at first base. And the runner is going to move up to second. Hey, we got 2 down. And McRae is on second base. And that brings up Bell Boney. Rolls a 41. That'd be a 24. With a man on second now. Runner on second. What was that again? A 41? That'd be a 24. 24. It looks like we got to get the range ability here. And it's showing all the way across nothing. So it's going to be basically a pop fly out to second base. Unless he's got a 6 or through a 9 for a strikeout. He does not have that. So it's just going to be a fly out to second base. That's going to be a pop out over to second base, and Bell Boney's going to go down. And that'll be the 3rd out. Back to the top of the lineup. All right, Dan Gladden up the bat now. And after 6 innings, it's 7-2, Minnesota. Let's see what Gladden rolls. A 31. That'll be a 14 with nobody on. Let's see what he gets. And a 14 is a base on balls unless he's a Z3 or 4. And he's facing a righty, so he is a Z3 or 4, which he gets. So that's going to be 2 balls. So we roll again. 62. That'd be a 44. That's going to be a fly out to center field for the first out. Oh, Gladden flies out to Wilson. Gladden flies out to Wilson for the first out. Ray Gagne up. 41. That'd be a 28. Nobody on. 28. It's going to be an out at first, unless he's a K629. He is not, so it's going to be a 6-3 put out. G6. He's got one more batter he can face, Saberhagen. And Gagne's gonna hit over to Concepcion for the easy out. That is 2 down now. Kirby Puckett up now. I don't think they have anybody on, so that shouldn't be there. Kirby gets a 24. That's a 13 with nobody on. The 13 is going to be a strikeout. Let's see, he's a K1. Either way, two outs, strikeout. Kirby goes down looking. We go to the bottom of the 7th now. 7-2, Minnesota. And let's see what Viola's got. He's got 24, I think 4 more batters. That brings up Motley. Here's the pitch. 46. It's going to get him a 24. 24 is going to be a 6-3 put out unless he's a 629 K rate, and he does not. So 6-3 put out. Motley down. That brings up Sundberg now. It's a 36. That's going to give him a 33. That's going to be a pop out to second base unless he's a 3, 5, 7, or 9. He's not that. So that's going to be a pop out to second base. Concepcion's up now. 2 down. 51. That rolls a 45. That's going to be an out at first. But it's 2 down, so it's going to be a fly out to right field. That will be the third out. Alright, so they're going to take out Saberhagen. Let's go to their lineup. See what we get here. Oh, gotta go over one more. Oh, KC has for pitchers Farr. Let's look for Farr. I don't know if we got him over there. So we're just going to have to go over here and look on KC's pitchers. They got Quisenberry, Beckworth. Is Beckworth one of those guys? There's Beckworth, Jones, Lacrosse. They're going to bring in Mike Jones. We're going to get Saberhagen out of there. All right, Mike Jones in now for KC. He had a 4.78 ERA, and he played in 33 games. And Herbeck is up to bat. 32. That'd be a 26. To the 26. Base is empty. 26 is going to be a 4-3 putout on Herbeck. That brings up Gary Gaetti now. 15. That'd be a 10. That's going to be a single to center for Gaetti. Alright, so Minnesota has a runner on first. That brings up Smalley now. 43. That'd be a 29. 29 with a guy on first. That's going to be out at first, runner to second. K3, 5, 7. He doesn't have that. So it's going to be a fielder's choice. Out to first on the hit to the pitcher. The runner's going to move up second base with 1 down. 2 down. And I thought I took him out, but it really doesn't matter. As long as I do it over here. They ain't in there. Not showing them. Okay, Bernasky up now. 52. That'd be a 27. With a man on second. 27. That's going to be a range check on the third baseman. That's going to be George Brett. Let's go see what his range is. George Brett's range is a 3. He has a 22, so 3. Let's go over here. Back to this. 3. So we're going to move it over. So he's got the 3. That's going to be a double play made by George Brett. G batter safe at first. Is he a G batter? He is not. He's an N. K45. No, none of that. So it's going to be a double play on the 5-4-3 putout by George Brett, which it's not a double play, so it's just going to be a G. He's going to make the G5-4 play, and that's going to be 3 outs. G5. Yeah. So that's going to be a play over to first base because they had a runner on second. Let me see if I did that right. Runner on second. Runner on first. Let's see. Well, 52. That's a 27. With a runner on second. Still a range check. And it was basically to see if he had the out at first. He wrote a 16. George Brett, I believe, had a 22. So lower is an error on George Brett. The way it's looking. That's the K35, and he does not have it. Safe on first on air, so he's gonna be safe. So that will be an error on George Brett. E3, E5. Oh, if it's an error. So the error on Brett means he bobbled the ball and still threw to first. And must have got past the first baseman, so because he's going to go over to third base on that. Let's see. Yes, he will. So Bernansky gets on an error. The runner on second's going to move up. That brings up Lamberdozzi up to bat with men on the corners. 25 will be a 9 with 2 outs. He's got a 9. Men on the corners. A 9. That's going to be a possible base hit section. Either a hit or an out. And he is a lefty versus a righty. So the righty, he's got a 34. He wrote a 34 on the pitcher. If it's higher, it's a hit. Lower, it's an out. So tied, it's an out. And he's going to get out on the short fly to right field. And they get out of the inning. And after 7.5, it's still 7-2 Minnesota. KC coming up in the bottom of the 8th now. And they got Willie Wilson out there. Let's check out Viola, see if he's tired. They're going to take Viola out. So let's go to their pen. See what they got. For Minnesota, they got Sharner, Arathon, Frazier. Let's see. That will be Minnesota 87, and they got like Frazier, Atherion. I'll see him here. Who's Straker? Who is a Straker? Straker. Yeah, let's bring in Straker for Viola. So take him out. Put Viola over there. Alright, here we go. Alright, Les Straker in for Minnesota now. He had a 4.37 ERA. He pitched in 31 games. And Willie Wilson's up the bat. Here's the pitch. 42. That'd be a 44 with nobody on. A 44 would be a fly out to center field for the first out. That brings up Lonnie Smith. What?
If you see me coming, why would you?
Because you're coming to do nothing. To just bug. Right? Lonnie Smith up the bat now. Rolls a 46. That'd be a 13. With nobody on. That should be a strikeout. 13. That will be a strikeout unless he's a K1. He is not. So that'll be a strikeout on Smith. He's down. Brings up George Brett now. George Brett up. Pitch. 53. That'll be a 19. There'll be an error section on the third baseman. Let's go see. Third baseman for Minnesota. It's Gaetti. Gaetti has a 22. He rolled a 26, so it's higher. That's going to be an out, George Brett. And that's on the third baseman. That's going to be an out, a 5-3 put out on George Brett. And that will end the inning. After 8. 7-2 still. Minnesota. Laudner. Alright, Laudner's up. Yeah, Mike Jones still in there pitching. Top of the ninth. It was a 55. That'll be an 8. Nobody on. Eight will be either a hit or an out on the pitcher. He's facing a righty, and his righty is a 34. He rolled a 44, so higher is going to be a hit. That's going to be a single to left center for Tim Laudner. Okay, so we got to go get batters again now. All right, Dan Gladden back up at the top of the lineup again. 56 will be a 34. Yeah, I believe they got a man on first. 34, man on first. 34 is either it's gonna be a range check on the first baseman. 34, first baseman, Balboni. 34, first baseman, Balboni. He's got a 23. He's got a 44. Higher is an out. So we get 34. Go back there. First baseman. That's an out. Fly out. Unless he's got a K3 and higher. And he doesn't. So it's just going to be a fly out to the first baseman for the first out. Gonna be P3. All right, Gagne up. 11. That's gonna be a hit. 52. Second column's a 7. With a man on first. This, hold on, 52 is a 7 with a man on first, right? So runner on first and a 7, that's going to be a single. Runner to third, unless he's a P runner. So we gotta go see if he's a, so it's gonna be a single for Greg Gagne. And let's check out the runner here. Laudner. Let's see if Laudner's a P runner. He is a P. Let's check that out again. So he's gonna hold at second. So Gagne gets the single. And Laudner's going to hold at second base. So men on first and second now. Okay, so we're there, and that brings up Kirby Puckett up to bat. Here's the row. He's going to get a 15. which is a 10. Let's go check out that. 10 with a man on first and second. That's either going to be a hit or an out, so 55. So higher is a hit because he's a righty and he's got a 34 against him, so that's a hit. And what did he get? What was his? 15 was a 10. The 10, so that's going to be a single over second. One runner scores, other to the third, then still second on the first pitch. Ball 1 to the batter. So, okay, so over to second. Single over second. One runner scores, other to third. Okay, so Kirby Puckett. We gotta go figure this out. So Kirby hits a single. This runner goes 2. And R1 is going to go 2. Let's see. Doesn't let me do it. It'll be a runner to second. One runner scores, other to third. Single. Okay, so single. So it'll be a single. Single. Let's just try it. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Nope, they scored 2. Single and 2. Single and 2. Yep, there we go. Right, so Kirby Puckett comes through. And they get another run out of it. He hits a single. And the runner moves over to third from first. And Kirby's on first. And the score now is 8-2 in the top of the 9th. Getting her back up now. 42. That's going to be a 14 with a man on first and third. First and third. Yeah, what was that number again? We said 42. That'd be a 14. So all 14s based on balls, unless he's a Z3 or 4, he is not. So Herbeck's gonna get on with a walk. And that's gonna load the bases. With one out. That's gonna bring up Gaetti up to bat. With one out. Here we go. 42 is going to be a 44 with bases loaded. Bases loaded. Let's see. That can't be right. 42. So 44. Yes, so 44 with bases loaded, huh? Bloop flying to short right is caught. Runners must hold. Oh, God, he hits a little short blooper out to right field. Motley comes in and makes the grab. And it's shallow, so nobody can score on that. And it's going to get 2 outs now. And that's going to bring up Smalley with 2 down. Pitch. 31. That's going to be a 9 with bases loaded. A 9 is going to be either a hit or an out. And he's a lefty. So versus lefty, he's got a 21. He's got a 15. And lower, that's going to be an out. That's going to be a fly out to left field. And they get out of the inning by only surrender 1 run with bases loaded. And it's 8-2 going into the bottom of the 9th here. Yeah, let's see who's up to bat. Hal McRae is up to bat. All right, Hal McRae up now. Rolls a 22. That'll be a hit. 15. That's going to be an 8. 8. Nobody on. That's an automatic hit. Eight will be automatic hit. That'll be a single to left center for Hal McRae. Right, that's going to bring up Frank White now. .34. That's going to be a 31 with a man on first. .34. Man on first. It's either going to be a hit or an out on the first baseman. We got to go get his range. That'd be Herbeck. Herbeck's range is, where are you? He's got a range of 1. Okay, Herbeck's got a range of 1. So it's going to be right here. So it's automatically this. So it's either going to be an out or an error. So I got to go look at his error. Herbeck's error is a 0 at first base. And let's go back. A 0. Herbeck's got a 0. Okay. So he's got a 0. Herbeck. And that will be a 25. So if it's higher, it's an out. So he must be a great great defensive first baseman, because that's an out. That's a fly out. 3, 5, or 7 will be a strikeout, but it's gonna be a fly out to Herbeck over there, and that will be the first out. Right, Balboni up to bat now. 1 down. Rolls 11. That'll be a 1. That's going to be a 2-run shot for Balboni with a man on first. Let's see where he hit it. Man on first. Runner on first. So that was a 1. That's a home run of left field. If this is a first column 1 and the pitcher has a PHR 4, which he doesn't, score that as a P3, so it's not. That's going to be a 2-run shot by Balboni. And that's going to make it 4-8 now with 1 out. That's going to bring up Motley up to bat now. Be a 14, that'd be a 30. With nobody on. Bases empty, 30. Be a fly out to left field. K629 be a strikeout. He doesn't have that, so fly out to left field. For 2 down now. That brings up Jim Suddenberg now. Pitch. Throws a 31. That'd be a 14. With nobody on. 14, I believe that's a base on balls. 14 would be a base on balls unless he's a Z3 or 4. He is not, so he walks for Sundberg. All right, so Concepcion's up. Rolls a 34, that'll be a 31 with a man on first. 31 with man on first. That's going to be a fly out to center field. And that's with 2 outs. Flies out to Kirby Puckett, makes the play. And that's going to be the end of the game. And Minnesota wins it 8-4. And we're going to go to a game 3 to see who moves on to the second round of the tournament. Stay tuned for another playthrough.